a thrilling last-second victory for the Maryland Terps up in New Jersey at the Prudential Center, playing for a wonderful cause, the Empire Classic for the Wounded Warrior Project. The Terps improved to 5-1 and get a much-needed victory over Villanova, 76-75. It's the official Maryland Terps basketball post-game show here on the Flex Zone podcast. Slam dunk that subscribe button like Derik Queen was doing today. Make sure you lay that like button like Mr. Dixon was going for Villanova. Shout out to him. Make sure you block that bell like Juju down in the paint, Julian Reese. And sound off in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the game, how you feel about this team at 5-1. Where do they go next? And what do you think the potential is? Thoughts on the game. If anything, leave your favorite emoji. Let me know how you're feeling about the team so far. The NFL season, it's football Sunday, and I'm giving you Maryland content. We talked about the Maryland football game. We previewed that. Unfortunately, we kind of knew what was going to happen. I'll talk about that more later this week. We have the Maryland basketball preview with Villanova, the preview with the Empire Classic, and today with the post-game show after the thrilling victory for the Terps down below. Hit us up in the comment section. Let me know how you're feeling. They were up in Jersey, so not too far of a drive for both teams in the Prudential Center, which just hosted AEW Full Gear last night, which we were live for also. So go check out that live stream. Leave us a like, leave a comment on that video and all the other videos, Terps videos, and a lot more. And I got some big things coming up that I will be announcing soon to come. And let us be the first to wish you a happy Thanksgiving as we kick off your Thanksgiving week of thankfulness and gratitude. With the Flex Zone, we're grateful for you. We're thankful for you being here today. Let's get into it, as it was an amazing time up in Jersey. A much-needed win for the Maryland Terps in the Empire Classic. They were down by 12 points at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, and I thought this game was all but over. I'm not going to lie. I predicted Maryland to win, but I said down by 12. Derik Queen seemed to be struggling. I talk about the ebbs and flows of a freshman, but you see the difference, the adjustments, the potential, the ability, hitting the one-leg step back like he Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Durant out there, just making it look easy. They were down 12. Derik Queen, remember, this team missed 2 free throws to tie the game up against Marquette. He hits 2 big free throws, attacking the basket and looking for the contact, not shying away from it, not afraid to go to the line, makes 2 free throws, 22 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double for him, 5 assists. And you can't forget about Julian Reese, the Twin Towers, 18 points, 10 rebounds, and Eric Dixon of Villanova. I have to give him some love. I have to give him some appreciation because not only is that a great last name by Eric Dixon, he had 38 points, missed a three-pointer at the buzzer that would have given Villanova the win. Got a little push off, got away with it. I'm okay they didn't call it, but he had a good look. He's left-handed, so he had the opening with his shooting hand. Missed the 3. At that point, my heart sunk. I thought, whew, this team might lose it. But shout out to the guys. Rodney Rice scored 16. Jacoby Gillespie had 12. 2 guys I really, really like and are going to be important on this team. Bunch of key shots. Maryland, again, struggled from 3 points, 6 for 19. But if they could hit a little bit more of those, they would have probably been able to blow the team out. But Maryland barely led for 4 minutes total. It was crazy, and I'll even show you the shot if I can real quick, courtesy of Inside Maryland Sports, while we get a look at it here. You see him hitting the one-leg step back over the elbow extended, just like it's nothing. You see him right there just pretty much working on it, just making it look easy. As you can see, Mr. Queen just a king on the court. And we talk about Derik Queen. For the Baltimore Ravens, we have the one and only Derrick Henry, 2 kings on the court. And you got to love what you see, like I said, from Derik Queen. I want to touch on him real quick because
that's one big son of a bitch! Finish him, Daddy.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what it was yesterday. It was literally, it was barbecue chicken. He was dominating inside, outside, mid-range, getting to the free throw line. He was fantastic in this game, and you see the overall potential this guy has. At halftime, let's go back to that. Villanova was up 40-28. The offense had no flow for the Terps. They had 11 turnovers. I thought that was going to doom them. The turnovers, they had 11 of them. Eric Dixon had 22 at the half. I was wondering why they weren't double teaming him, but give credit to Mark Turgeon. Excuse me. Not Mark Turgeon. Lord. Woo, Kevin Willard. Mark Turgeon on the brain. Kevin Willard, because this is a game Mark Turgeon would have lost. Kevin Willard putting 3 guys on them, daring someone else to beat them. And they did just that. So let's get you some of the big recaps from this. Maryland overcame a 14-point deficit, stunned Villanova 76-75 at the Saatva Empire Classic in the Prudential Center in Jersey, improving to 5-1 on the season. The Terps were down 14 points with 1:14 left in the first half. Battled back and earned their first lead since the 8-46 deficit in the second half after Derik Queen made a second chance fadeaway jumper that was part of a 19-5 run since the 14:02 mark of the second half. As mentioned, Derik Queen, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 for 14 from the field. Efficient. 0 for 1 from 3, but I love he doesn't take a lot of them a lot of times. 4 for 7 from the free throw line as well. Now people are always saying big, skilled, and could be one of the first bigs to go in the draft. I mean, outside of Cooper Flagg, I guess, but is Cooper Flagg a big? I don't know. We can talk about that another day. Back and forth. Closed out the game with the 2 Derik Queen free throws with 21.7 left and got 2 key defensive stops. The Maryland defense, as I mentioned, has been very important today and so far in this season. So give a big shout out to them. The Maryland defense getting it done. Their largest win, which was 14 points, since trailing by 17 at Minnesota. I remember that game in 2020, February 26, 2020. They trailed Minnesota 47-30 with 43 seconds left in the first half. Derik Queen, 22 points. Julian Reese, 18 points. Led the way combining with 40. 11 rebounds for Queen with 5 assists. Reese, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. I mentioned he's good for 2 or 3 blocks a game. His mom was there. Shout out to Mama Reese. Last time the Terps recorded double-doubles with points and assists in the same game was when Julian Reese, 19-12, and Jameer Young, 16 and 12 rebounds, did against Rutgers on February 6, 2024, so last season. Rodney Rice, Jacoby Gillespie had strong performances. Rice was 16, Gillespie with 12, as I mentioned. Gillespie has scored double digits in all 6 games for the Terps this season. Villanova falls to 3-4. Eric Dixon led the Wildcats with 38 points. Again, big shout out to the Terps. They faced Cam Jones a few weeks ago with Marquette, and now Eric Dixon with Villanova. Those are some skilled brothers right there, because when you look at it, these individuals that they're playing are going to be consensus All-American caliber. At least Cam Jones and Eric Dixon. Don't be surprised if they're both on the – I don't know how good Villanova is going to be, but Marquette seems like a potential 2 or 3 seed at least going into the tournament, just on how they're projected. They are going to be guys you're going to look at as a Wooden Award, especially Cam Jones, and first-team perennial All-Americans. Definitely Cam Jones. Dixon, if he's not a first-team All-American, he'll probably be second-team. He'll definitely be first-team All-Big East as well. This is only the 7th meeting between the 2 teams, and the Terps picked up their 2nd win of the series, first since 1985. Villanova led 7-5 after the first media timeout. Julian Reese had the first 5 points of Maryland, all 5 of the first points of Maryland. Wildcats went on an 11-0 run, were leading 15-5, and the Terps called a timeout. Terps cut to lead to 2 possessions, 18-13 with 19 in the first half. Maryland made 5 of its last 6 shots from the floor, trailed 27-19 at 7:52 left in the first half, but Reese led with 9 points, but Villanova held the advantage because of his 3-point shooting as well. Wildcats led 35-24 with 3:08 left, and they later led 40-28 at halftime. Eric Dixon, as mentioned, had 22 points entering the half. He would finish with a career high 38. So 22 in the first half, and what's that? 16 in the second half. So Maryland did a better job in the second half. They cut it to 7 points after Derik Queen's jumper at the 14:55 mark. Tied the game at 55 after Jacoby Gillespie drew 2 free throws. Terps closed out the game with 2 free throws by Derik Queen, and they got 2 defensive stops as well. Let's see. Derik Queen, 22 points, And he was in double digits for the 5th time in his career. He also completed this in 4 straight games. Julian Reese, 18 points for his 59th career game in double digits. He has scored double figures for the 3rd time in the season. Rodney Rice, 16 points and scored in double digits for the 8th career game, his 5th game in double figures. And Jacoby Gillespie, 12 points, 46th career game in double figures, his 6th game in a row, scoring double figures as well. As mentioned, Derik Queen doing it all, inside, outside, passing, rebounding. It was as well. 24th double-double of Julian Reese's career. And what is this? 15 double-doubles. He had 15 double-doubles last year, which was 9th most nationally and 2nd in the Big Ten as well. He's 14th all-time on the rebound list as well. He now has 745 boards, tied for 13 with Len Bias, the late great Len Bias as well. Kevin Willett did return to the Prudential Center for the first time since being with Seton Hall for 12 years from 2010 to 2022, and he was 122-52 at the Prudential Center as well. Maryland's first win over Villanova since 1985. 2 Terps recorded a double-double. Derik Queen recorded his 2nd double-double. 4 Terps in double figures. Terps are 5-1. Jacoby Gillespie has scored double digits in each of the first 6 games as a Terp. Maryland overcame a 14-point deficit in the win. Career high for Derik Queen, tied with 22. 24th double-double for Julian Reese. Queen and Reese combined for 40 points. Up next, Maryland will return home on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, for a game against Bucknell, 4:30 p.m. tip. So a nice evening affair down at the Xfinity Center on the Big Ten Network and on the Maryland Sports Network as well. Let's get to the stats real quick. I did want to go over the stats and the team stats and then look at the box score and then get out of here. But the Terps get a big win. They're 5-1 to get Bucknell. I like their odds there. So they can get to 6-1. I said in the first 10, let's get to 8-2 minimum. So they're 5-1 in the first 6. They shot. Let's see if that's a little small. Let's magnify it for the good folks out there. As you can see, 29 of 62, 28 of 56 for Maryland. 50% from the field did Maryland shoot. Villanova 46%, 6 for 19 from 3. Villanova 9 for 29. Both weren't really good. Both for 31%. Maryland 31.6. Free throws 8 for 9. Maryland 14 of 19. That's not bad. 14 of 19. A little flex zone math. That is how much percent we working with here. 73%. So they're around a 73. I think that's fair. If they can get around, I think if they can get to like 75 average, I think Queen's like 77. If they can be, Juju's not the best, but he's okay. He's getting better, it seems. They can be around 75 as a team free throw percentage. I like it. 73.4. It was right here next. I'll rebound it. Remember my keys. One of my keys was to win the rebounding battles, 34-30. 16 offensive rebounds, especially on the offensive side. 18 defensive rebounds, 17 assists, beautiful 3 steals. Villanova had 9. Maryland 3 blocks, 13 turnovers to 10. Maryland 13 points, Villanova 15 points off turnovers. Neither team really got out and got easy buckets. Both teams did a good job with the press. So 5-3 fast break points, and they pounded them in the paint, as I mentioned. Dominate them inside. They won the paint 38-30, 18-15 fouls, and largest lead was 14, and largest for Maryland was 4 as well. So both teams were, it was an evenly matched game. As mentioned, I thought Maryland, I said what is it? High 60s, mid 70s, and it's 76, 75. So we're pretty much right there. As you can see, for Villanova, one other player in double figures. Boyake, 5 points. Eric Dixon, 38. He didn't really do much else. Only had, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He didn't really affect the game outside of scoring. So Poplar, 5. Brickus, 11. Longiano, 7. 2 points from Mosley, and Perkins was 7. So if Dixon didn't do what he did, it's pretty much a one-man band. Dixon, that's where Villanova's downfall is going to come outside of Dixon. Who can beat you? If you can keep him contained, really, you can beat Villanova. And honestly, if he's not going to go out there every night and give you 38, I think he was averaging, 20 points coming into the game. We can check real quick just to double-check that. So, I mean, after this, obviously his average is going to go up, but he was only, he was averaging 25. I said if you keep him like around 20 with Cam Jones, keep him around 20 points, I'll be cool with that. He's averaging 24 and 8, so that's probably going to go up. If you keep him around 25, even if you keep him around his average 25, the rest of the team's not doing much. So, and then at the end of the day, it's a one-man band, kind of like the old Terps with Jameer Young. So Julian Reese, 18, 10, Queen, 22, 11, and 5. You see Miguel, nothing, but he was more or less used for his defense. But Gillespie, 12 points. Rodney Rice, 16. The bench for the Terps, if there's one criticism, one critique, they are going to have to get better. Deshaun Harris-Smith, I don't really know what to say there. Seems like a failed marriage. The hype, the anticipation behind this young guard with Jameer Young last year and then coming in. Okay, well, it's year 2. Let's see what he does. He has the potential. Jameer Young is gone. It's his show. I don't know what it is with Deshaun Harris-Smith. He's kind of, I don't want to say he's in the doghouse. I don't want to say he's lost confidence. I just don't really see what he has left at Maryland. We'll see what the rest of the season has in store for the young fella, but he may have to go to another program after the season if it doesn't work out. And it seems like he is what, the third or fourth guy off the bench. He's buried at the end of the bench. He only played what? He did play 15 minutes, but that's because more or less by necessity outside of what really other guards do you have on the bench that you can go to? And Deshaun Harris-Smith had the potential, but 2 points, fouls out, 4 rebounds, I guess, for defense and energy. But he should be giving you more. Even if he's coming off the bench, he could be one of the better 6 men in the Big Ten. Like I said, the hype behind the brother, it was love. It was love. It was love. It was a lot of hype behind him. I like to see more from Malachi Palmer. 9 minutes. He only had 3 points. I think Malachi Palmer should get a little bit more minutes than Miguel. That's just me, but who am I? Malachi Palmer should be up around 15 minutes a night, and Miguel should not be playing 23 minutes. Miguel can be playing closer to 15, and you can give, that extra 7 minutes or so to Palmer, give him in that 15 to 20-minute range as well. We got to do better with the rotation still, Mr. Willett, but Palmer is going to be your guy off the bench, and whatever you get, hopefully, from Deshaun Harris-Smith moving forward. Like I said, the hype behind him just kind of sucks. Only averaging, 5.8 per game, so 6 points. Like I said, he gets you about 4 rebounds, gets you about 2 assists, so you got to hope that he can just maybe turn a corner. So it's a young season. So as we see that Maryland, they're going to rely on him. They're going to need him to be confident. I think he has to get his confidence. I think it's mental. If he can get his confidence back, do the simple things, do the fundamental things, defend, rebound like he's doing, bring that energy off the bench, look to be that 6th or 7th guy, take the opportunities that are given to you, try to make the guys around you better, get assists, get some steals, like I said, get some rebounds, and then let the game come to you. Get to the basket. Make your free throws because you have the ability. You're athletic. You have the size to get in the paint. Don't settle for threes. Attack. Be aggressive like Derik Queen did today. Derik Queen plays bully ball like Derrick Henry in the NFL. When he gets the ball, he goes downhill. That's when he's best. He can hit the step back. He can hit the one-legged fadeaways. He can hit the three-pointers. He can hit your little mini baby hooks and your fadeaway, turnaround jumpers. But when you have a guy that can get to the paint and when you need to get a bucket and you need to get points and you're down 1, you're down 2, he can get to the free throw line, finish with contact. If he doesn't finish, he can make the free throws, and that can do very, very big things for you real quick. As mentioned, on Wednesday, they'll face Bucknell. They should be able to take care of them. Then they have Alcorn State, so I see Maryland get the 7-1. Then we have Ohio State here at Xfinity Center, which I like Maryland. Maryland may be ranked. If they can win those next 3, they may be ranked. Then you go to at Purdue. So I said 8-2. Maybe you get to 9-1 in your first 10. We'll see. I think if you can win at least 1 of the 2 against Ohio State and Purdue, while obviously taking care of business against Bucknell, who is, what is their record? Bucknell right now is 4-3. And then looking at it, Alcorn State is, what is Alcorn State? Alcorn State is 0-6. So they're winless as well. Maryland had a 99% chance to win that game, as you can see. So they definitely should take care of Alcorn State. Bucknell, as mentioned, they are 4-3, but nothing really there. Their highest score is averaging 17, but 97.3. So there you have it there with that situation. And then you got St. Francis, Syracuse, so Maryland Eastern Shore. So a chance to stack some wins. And this is a big building block victory for the Terps looking down the road and up north in the wonderful, wonderful state of New Jersey, just on the outskirts of New York City at the Prudential Center, who had a busy weekend. Shout out to doing it well with our classic. As mentioned, let us be the first on the Flex Zone family, the Flex Zone podcast, the only place giving you how you want when you need it. Maryland content, Maryland football, Maryland basketball, Maryland recruiting, how you want it when you need it. Throw your ones up, acknowledge us. Make sure you slam dunk that subscribe button like our boy Derik Queen was doing, the fabulous, fantastic, scintillating freshman. And make sure that you go ahead and lay up that like button like Mr. Dixon was doing, like Juju was doing. The Twin Towers combining for 40 and double-doubles for both of the young men, which we'll see a lot more this season. I wouldn't be surprised if they both have a double-double in the same game around 10 times and score like 40 and give you 20, 25 boards. Go ahead, block that bell like Juju was doing down in the paint with 2 blocks. Continue what he's doing. I'm loving what I've seen from Juju. I would love if we can just get one more year of him and Queen. One more year, and willing to get another guard or two, a shooter, possibly another bench piece. Woo, this team can have some potential, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like Derik Queen is the piece that's going to help bring them back to where we expect them to be. I mentioned I already think they're going to be in the tournament. I think they could win at least a game. That's probably their ceiling, but who knows? Anything can indeed happen. But make sure you sound off in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this game. Let me know your thoughts on the Terps this season, 5-1, heading into some winnable games and 2 big matchups against Ohio State and, of course, Purdue, number 9 right now. You'll hear from me before then, previewing and recapping the action and talking about Maryland football as well. So hit that like button, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on the game. NFL action this weekend. Who's your team? What games are you looking forward to? Your thoughts on the NFL season so far, the Ravens game tomorrow, Orioles, anything. You want to talk about your favorite food, what you're having for Sunday dinner, what you're excited to eat for Thanksgiving, your top 5 side dishes or your top 5 meals of Thanksgiving. Sound off in the comment section. It helps tremendously in the algorithm. It's the Flex Zone, only place giving you your Maryland Terps content and sports how you want it, when you need it. Terps get a thrilling victory. Felt like March Madness out there. 76-75 over Villanova and 5-1. Derik Queen doing work. Maryland comes back home Wednesday against Bucknell. And I'll see you on the channel with more content on the Flex Zone podcast.